Welcome to episode 23 of the Restored Geeks Podcast. My name is Tristan.
I'm Jim. I'm Joseph.
Yes, sir. And an analysis from a Christian perspective on Vinland Saga. And Discord age verification and violating privacy, potentially. All that coming up on today's podcast. But before we do that, let's do... we're going to get to what's going on in geekdom, starting with gaming. And we'll start with what we've been doing in gaming. I'll start with myself. Nothing. You, Joe. What about you, Joseph?
I have been playing me some Marvel Rivals, and I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. Because they got rid of Overwatch 2, brought it back to Overwatch, and it actually feels like the olden days now. And I went back to a classic of Far Cry 3.
You've been playing another game?
Far Cry 3 is great, though. It's the best one, in my opinion.
Except for one mission that I really hated because I wanted to blow my brains.
Is it when you're on the acid trip?
No, it's one of those side quests. You have to run people over with a car, but every single time I get someone, it's so hard to control.
I don't think I did this side quest.
I walk away from the cars. I'm like, can't do this. Yeah. And it's timed, but
I don't think I did the side quest when I played it. I love the main quest, though.
And,
what's his name? Dadgummit, he plays in Better Call Saul.
Nacho Varga.
Nacho Varga, but that's not the villain's name in Far Cry 3.
Insanity Man.
Dadgummit, I forgot his name anyway.
He should know, he's been playing.
Yeah, you should know, you've been playing.
My brain can't remember.
He goes, you know the definition of insanity? And then he says it, and he's like, it's pretty crazy, right? Do I look crazy? Am I crazy?
I know it starts with a V. I know that.
Yeah, sure. I will say it's like Val or something like that, but I think I'm wrong.
Vander.
But yeah, Vander, yes.
Point Volk.
That is not
That's not him.
That is Voss. That's his name. Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so what I've been playing Grounded 2, because...
So, alright, now, do you all want to confess and pay penance to playing Overwatch?
He just said it, you idiot.
I know that. I know you've been playing Overwatch too.
Yeah,
so
I've been playing Overwatch.
You want to confess and pay the penance?
Yeah, you gotta play with us too.
Yeah, delete friggin'... Delete friggin', what's it called? Yeah, it's such a stupid game, I don't even remember what's called. Arc Raiders?
Bruh. No.
And then let's play some other...
Oh, hell the peanut. We play Arc Raiders.
No, in reality, we're all going to quit Arc Raiders and we're all playing Fallout 76, so...
I've actually heard it's gotten better.
It's much better.
Okay.
So, now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been playing Grounded 2 and Overwatch, and then I've also been playing Eugenics. So, real quick, I do want to say I do recommend the game. Fun game. It's made by...
the same person that made Binding of Isaac.
I know, but I had his name on my mind.
Oh.
But it is made by the same guy who made Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
It is extremely crude, so warning.
Yeah.
It is literally a game about making cats go at it to breed more powerful cats and then take on the world.
Nice.
But, of course, the other warning I have to give is for some reason this creator seems to have something against Christianity.
Yeah.
Especially Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
And puts in a lot of stupid, extremely stupid things into the game.
Yeah.
I will give him that he's very talented in making a game, but he really should, if this is really an ongoing problem at this point, seek help.
Yeah.
Because you have a weird obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, if you can overlook it, I do recommend the game.
Yeah. I mean, Binding of Isaac's a good game too, but it's got a lot of weird Christian references in it.
Yeah.
So.
And then, I think those are the three I've been playing because... I've been busy working on my capstone project.
You don't want to pay the indulgence for playing Overwatch, huh?
Why do we have to pay an indulgence for playing Overwatch? We quit Destiny.
Yeah.
Very true. You did quit. Okay, so your sins are forgiven.
Overwatch got better. Destiny keeps getting worse.
Destiny went back to the way they used to be.
I don't think Destiny went back to the way they used to be.
Destiny.
You said Destiny.
I hate my...
Yeah, Overwatch reverted some of their stuff, but there's still one thing I'm not going to ever forgive Overwatch for until they fix it, is that's giving me my campaign mode that you promised.
Yep. Right, going into gaming news?
Yes.
All right, so gaming news. What is on the docket for this week?
Reloaded! Another game that enters the category of Concord. And I love how Concord did so bad that we've now got success, mid-success, flop, mega flop, Concord.
Yes.
But another game, Reloaded, has entered that category. Reloaded is I will say it, a racist game that is about, I'm not joking, apparently it's about black people raiding white people museums to steal back African treasures.
Nice.
This is a great way to end racism, is by painting yourself as racist.
Yes.
It had like 10 players total, and one of them was Az from Heels vs. Babyface, which is funny.
Yeah. The pronouns guy, the star, what is it called?
He's more than
that song. That game was so mid, I forgot its name.
Starfield,
yeah.
Not to be mistaken from the new and absolute garbage Star Academy. Starfleet Academy.
Hey, listen, that's a masterpiece. You just don't get it. Your media.
I'm not even joking about that. This is one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Yes.
Actually, it probably is the worst show I've ever seen.
Yes.
Although Acolyte and it are very close second.
I've not seen either one. I've just watched things on the Acolyte and Starfleet Academy, and a lot of people that have seen both have said Starfleet Academy is worse.
Oh, it is.
So, yeah.
It's barely worse, but it is worse.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, NVIDIA announces that no new graphics cards will be coming out this year.
What for?
Well, before we get into what for, I don't care. You all shouldn't have been releasing a new graphics card every year anyway.
Yeah, a lot of them are redundant. Like,
yeah. When
you buy like a high-end one, you're good for a good.
Yeah, if you
5, sometimes even 10 years.
Like I'm at the point where my 2080 does need to be upgraded to a 50 something.
Yeah.
But that's a big leap rather than my 40 being upgraded to my 50 from my 0.2% increase.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reason is because they decided to invest $20 billion into AI.
That's a lot of money.
But there is a development. They apparently pulled out of this deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on with NVIDIA. They are the biggest company in the entire world. But stop investing into AI so much. Like, you can invest in AI. Like, AI is a good tool, but it is not the end-all, be-all that every bit of your money should be going into like everyone's doing. Because we will, if they continue to do this, we are going to see probably the biggest market crash in history.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly. So hopefully that doesn't happen,
and
then hopefully these companies do better. NVIDIA, I actually encourage you to take a few years to make a better card. Like, if it takes you 5 years and then you come out with a massive upgrade from the 50 series, much better than your 2% upgrade.
Yeah.
So I'm not too mad about the delay, basically.
No, I think that they should treat the graphics cards like how the consoles were treated, back then.
Yeah.
It was like every 5 to 10 years, a new console was coming out. Every 5 to 10 years, get a new graphics card. Because, these small upgrades, it's like whenever a new iPhone comes out. It's like if you got the highest end iPhone, you're good for the next 5-10 years to buy another iPhone.
Yeah, but like this phone.
Yeah.
I typically don't upgrade a phone for like 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, you don't have to get iPhone,
you do
12.
You do not have to trade in and buy a new iPhone every time. Next up, we on the same thing as AI, basically.
Yeah.
Steam announces that the Steam Decks are sold out, and they do not know when new stock will be put in. Now, this would be interesting if it was they're being sold out because everyone wants a Steam Deck. Well, they're being sold out because the AI RAM crisis is making it very difficult to make new systems and still sell them at the same price. So we're cooked in gaming. Gaming's cooked.
Yeah.
Unless these RAM prices go back down.
Nice.
Because I can guarantee you we're looking at the PS6 and the new Xbox being $1,500 or $2,000 plus.
Probably
just because of the game box will be $1,500 plus because of RAM prices. And at that point, there is zero reason for me to do that to buy these consoles rather than just stick with my PC.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't plan on buying any console except for Gabe Bucks anyway, because I see no reason to
Gabe
upgrade.
Box.
Gabe.
I know we Gabe Box.
Yeah, the Steam machine.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why I would buy the PS6 or the new Xbox, when I could just stick with my PS5 and then play all my Steam library games on both my PC and the Steam machine when it releases.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I buy another console?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And most of that's due to Sony. Sony used to have good exclusives. Now they don't.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares about Sony anymore.
Yep.
And speaking of Sony, apparently a few fan-made Bloodborne port projects were in the work where they were trying to port Bloodborne to the PC, have it emulated, and run very well. They were not basically giving the game away free. It was basically you have to have the game, you dump the game, and then it was like the fix for like the Dark Souls 1. It was one of those type of things.
Unlocks frame rates.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Sony's suing them,
Mm-hmm.
so they shut it down.
Yep.
Here's what gets on my absolute nerves is that these big companies are freaking evil. They wait till they're almost done. They make them waste their time,
Mm-hmm.
waste all of their energy on a project that they're so happy with, and then rip it out from under them.
Mm-hmm. Business.
Where's my part, Sony?
Yeah, exactly. We've been saying this ad nauseum. All people are asking for is a 60 FPS version. That's it.
Speaking of
We will pay money for that.
Speaking of Sony's State of Play happened.
Mm.
What was funny to me is if you went to the comment section on their stream, I would say a good 50 to 60% of the comments were, "Where's Bloodborne?"
Yeah, where's Bloodborne? Yep.
It's getting to the point where Sony can't ignore it anymore. They're going to keep saying it. It's just up to them whether or not they want to make money or sit there and grovel and not make money.
Yeah.
This reminds me of one dude. Just PlayStation for a month in your face. You're like, what are you doing? Are you allergic to money?
Yes.
But there was nothing but it looked like soulless nonsense games.
Yeah.
There were a few indie games on there, but to be entirely honest, they're all samey right now because they're either platformer that's just trying to copy Silksong, or they're new Souls-like that I don't want to play every new Souls-like. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I don't want everything to be a Souls-like.
The only game that caught my attention is Keanu Reeves is helping develop a John Wick game.
No, does it look like it's actually going to be good?
It does.
Okay, well, what is it going to be? Is it going to be
It's going to be a
first-person?
first-person shooter.
It's going to be first-person?
It looks like it's going to be a first-person or third-person shooter where you can do all the John Wick stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you fist fight, you can pick up weapons if you lose your gun. Like, you could kill somebody with a pencil.
You can fall from a 5-story building and slam every balcony on your way
If
down.
they do it right, it'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
So they played. I want to see if the trilogy for the God of War would be good.
I've seen that.
Yes, but that was mostly announced to hide the other issue that you're going to be bringing up in a minute. So do not. You can go to that when you get to your topic.
Yeah, but I was also going to say they talked about having one game that was exclusive for PS3 come out, which means that they got the PS3 emulator going, which means they can finally get my Sly Cooper game finally emulated.
What are you talking about?
They said on the save play, they said that PS.
How do you know that them porting a PS3 game to the PS5 means that they've got some sort of emulator going? They could have just taken the game source code and ported it.
They said the only way they're able to get PS3 games onto there is with a PS.
Well, you do know they have what's called PS Now, right? Where you can play.
Streaming sucks.
Yeah, it is streaming. Yeah, but
That's why that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. He had me play the Sly Cooper trilogy on that streaming thing, and I couldn't get past the first area because it kept lagging.
yeah, no, you have to have perfect daggone military internet to
And that's
play.
the thing. They got the PS1 and PS2 emulator, which I got those like Cooper games, but now they said, and that people are saying that they got the PS3 emulator going. Hopefully sooner or later, sometime this year, I should begin my other Sly Cooper games.
Yeah.
that are on that.
No,
Which I'm very happy.
Now, that God of War trilogy, is it being made by Santa Monica? Because they're the ones that made...
No, they're outsourcing. I think they said they were outsourcing.
I do know the original dude that played Kratos in those games is coming back to play it.
Yeah.
So, which is good.
Well, I mean, I was asking because they're the ones that made 2018 and Ragnarok, which are really good games. So, yeah, just curious.
But also, before Joseph took over my topic, in the State of Play as well, Marathon got revealed, and it was absolutely hilarious watching the comment section. Everyone just, no one, I think I saw maybe 2 people that was on Marathon's side out of the thousands that were watching. Everyone was booing it. Everyone was saying Concord 3.0. And to be honest, I kind of agree with them. This is me just being personally vindictive, to be honest, though.
Yes.
I really want it to fail because I hate Bungie right now.
Yeah.
But if it does good, well, cool. I'm still not playing it.
Yeah.
I'm done with Bungie. I'm not staying in this abusive relationship anymore.
Yes.
And that's why we quit Destiny World.
Yeah, I've got a video coming out on the Dorathian channel on my thoughts. I'm trying, it's taking me a little bit to reconcise everything because I don't want it to be a rant. I want it to be me explaining why I feel this way and why I'm quitting.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that anyone else has to quit Destiny either. If you enjoy Destiny, that's fine. Just, I would pay more attention to what Bungie does because Bungie is just lying all the time and I'm sick of being lied to. So, before we go into Joseph's gaming news, I do want to bring up a couple miscellaneous, or it's one miscellaneous story. So Discord is apparently going to force a age verification by making you send in your government issue ID. So apparently Discord already had a breach on it, and 70,000 IDs were leaked.
Discord's like the most popular used thing.
Yeah, so
of course, when they do this, it's going to get breached.
Number one, Discord, you need to stop. This is not okay.
Nope.
Tristan said at the beginning of this, possibly breach of privacy. What he meant to say is objectively breach of privacy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But, also, like Joseph said, apparently if you send in a picture of your face, their AI can tell if you're over 18.
Yeah.
How? I've seen some 18-year-olds look like they're 40.
Then they would definitely be over 18.
Oh, okay. And I've seen some 18-year-olds look like they're 12. So.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like.
Just do what one little kid did and just get to do.
Will it know that Tom Holland is like 30-something when he looks like he's 14?
All right, Joseph, on to you.
Oh, thank
And you can explain the reason why they had to announce a God of War remake trilogy that isn't coming out until probably 2028.
Yes.
So Sony is giving you a way to rent yourself a PS5, so you don't have to pay for the full-on. As it says, so that people don't have to pay for the full-on.
Well, let's do some math. I don't know the numbers. Let's do some math and why this is stupid. So, PlayStation, $500, $550. Upfront purchase, it's yours.
Yeah.
You play it. Let's say they charge you $15 a month. Let's see how fast you end up going over $550. It'll only take you 2 years, 2.5 years, and you'll be paying more. Now, you may be thinking, well, then now they're paying overtime on that. Well, what Sony's trying to do, it's not for you, because if you're thinking about it that way, then you're not the one they're targeting. The one they're targeting is somebody who didn't think about it and is going to completely forget about it and then just continuously give them sources of revenue over and over and over and over again. Just so that they can have an inferior... I don't know how they're going to do it, whether they're going to send you an inferior product or if they're going to have you play through it through PlayStation Now or something. I don't know what their full plans are, but this is extremely stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, some people will argue and say that this is good for those that can't afford a PS5.
Again, that's why I brought up, you will end up paying more for the PS5 than you would have if you just chilled out, saved up for a month or two, and then just bought the PS5.
Yeah.
And then if it lasts you for a whole 5 years into the next one, then maybe it might be good.
You're gonna end up. You
before the next console comes out, you're gonna end up paying double.
It's going to be a monthly payment, and you are going to be paying like $2,000 more than.
I'm saying for some reason it added up to the next month, like the
that would have to be like $15 a month or something.
No, it'll be it's $15 a month. So it's like 2 years.
Because that's the thing. If this is like month, like
so they apparently did release it. It is $15 USD. So by the time the next console comes out, so we're saying,
so this is out now. Like you can do this now.
No, these are the pricings.
They released the pricing.
Yeah. If we're saying that every console comes out every 5 years, you're paying double.
You're paying way more.
Yeah.
So you're better off
without
saving
tax. You're going to be paying
this is
tax as well. So you are going to be paying a lot more. This is really stupid.
Yeah.
It is far smarter if you can just chill out, get off of the fear of missing out train.
Yeah.
And just buy the PlayStation yourself when you can.
Because even just thinking about like if you're somebody who's like going to rent it just to play friggin' God of War Ragnarok and then give that's like how does that even work? Like
what happens when they send me my PlayStation and then I stop making the payments and then I send it back with a rat turd in it?
Or if I just don't send it back, are they going to send a repo team after me?
Yeah, they're going to repossess my PlayStation. They're going to break into my house at midnight and repossess my PlayStation.
They're going to break fingers.
The thing is the court systems are so slow that if this is the case and they tried to... By the way, that's not me being a douchebag. Court is slow for a reason. They've got a lot to do. But if they try to like say, you need to send it back and you say no, and they're like, well, we're taking you to court... You can effectively keep that PlayStation for a whole nother year.
Yes.
Without them being able to do a thing about it other than seethe.
Or I mean, they could completely take off your PlayStation network. But you can still...
They can't do nothing when I got 3 VPNs bouncing.
That's true. Yes, there you go. There's a lot of get-arounds on stuff.
There are a lot of get-arounds on stuff.
This is dumb. What is it? What are we doing?
I VP into Colombia the other day. I don't know why I was doing it. I was just testing something, and then forgot about it. Got on to McDonald's app to order food.
Yeah.
It said, "We're so glad you enjoy McDonald's, but there is no locations near your current location. Would you mind moving to the USA?"
Seriously?
It literally said, "Consider moving."
Bruh. Wow.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
So, they also have a new asset streaming service to lower the download rate for sizes, but that's meaning that you have to stream your graphics.
That's not okay because that's currently what COD does, and it's the reason I keep getting packet bursts and lagging.
Why don't you goobers actually compress your files?
One, compress your files. Compression is not hard. I've been learning it.
Yeah.
And then two, not every game has to have ridiculous friggin' polygon level graphics.
Yeah, not every game has to be a gigantic open world either.
Exactly.
A lot of these games are just bloat and crap. You are taking up useless space on my hard drive.
Yes.
What I meant to say is like your space that you're taking up is useless.
Yeah, no, it's not just that. You said massive open world. Why is COD the biggest game on my system?
It shouldn't be.
Overwatch is 30 gigs.
Yes.
So and
that's there you go. There you go. That's another plus. Download Overwatch. It's only 30 gigs.
COD on the PC is nowhere near as big as it is on PlayStation.
I know.
What? Sony just does not compress their files. It's all bloated garbage.
Oh, yeah, that's also what I was gonna say. There's also like big games that are so much bigger than Call of Duty that are so little.
Oh, is that it for games?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're getting to movies then. I'll start with myself. None. What about you, Joseph?
None.
Okay, what about you, Chandler?
None.
All right.
We got one
movie news.
We got one movie news. So, Toy Story 5 is coming out.
That's gonna suck.
This honestly, the premise of this one is good, but it should have been the fourth because the fourth.
The fourth one sucked. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are great.
Yeah, this one, the main villain of it is what they call a lily pad, which is a iPad thing, pretty much. So pretty much the premise is that
Oh boy.
it's that playing with the toys.
Yeah, man. There's gonna be a lot of
electronics.
There's gonna be a lot of modernisms in it. That's gonna be cringe.
Yeah, it's gonna randomly show Peanut on the lily pad.
I swear it did. I'm gonna, but
That'll be a 10 if they do.
But what's funny is that the one big thing that was wrong before is that Buzz and Woody split it. That was the ending. But Woody comes back, and due to him being a rogue toy, he's now balding.
Bruh.
And they make that.
Bruh.
But what people say is that it's a concept that now the old Woody was the way we were, kids that wanted to play and everything like that. But now we're like Woody, now we're balding.
Bruh. No, Toy Story 2 is one of those rare examples of a sequel being better than the first, in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah. And this comes out on June 9th. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how.
I'll definitely wait for it to come on Disney.
Yeah. Is that it?
TV. Yeah,
That's all we have for movies. Then let's get into TV shows. I'll start with myself. Been watching Vinland Saga, that's our main topic, and then Frieren, because I'm got a video on Dorathion coming out for that, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because I was informed that Part 7 is coming out next month on March, so I'm watching through JoJo right now. Yeah, JoJo's one of those things, like, it is absurd and ridiculous and stupid. But it's what I call dumb fun, because it doesn't take itself seriously. It doesn't ask its audience to take itself seriously. It's mostly like, it's almost like a video. Each part is like a video game structure. Here's the bad guy. Here's the heroes. The heroes go and fight the bosses till they get to the bad guy, and then the bad guy's the final boss. And it's like a multi-episode fight, and it's just fun to watch. So, yeah. Part one's hard to get through because it's almost insufferable with the amount of monologuing they do. But I mean, they still monologue in all the other parts, but it gets a lot better after part 1. But yeah, been watching that. What about you, Joseph? What have you been watching?
I've been watching my Sonic still.
Bruh, nice.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Watching one episode a day?
It has 3 seasons to it.
How many episodes a season?
20 something.
What you been watching, Chandler?
What about me? Vinland Saga, that's it.
Is it just Vinland Saga? Been watching? No One Piece, nothing?
No.
None? Oh.
I don't have my Blu-ray player yet.
Oh. All right, well, I guess we'll get into TV show news. Yes.
So, Prime Video is coming out with a Spider-Man Noir TV show, which is the black and white Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which looks
Apparently starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Bro.
Nicolas Cage is going to be Spider-Man Noir.
Nicolas Cage needs a paycheck.
And Nicolas Cage is a paycheck.
Yeah.
It looks like the way Spider-Man Noir would be, because Spider-Man Noir is more
Yeah.
olden times.
No, is this animation?
No, it's
okay.
it's live action.
Live action? All right, we'll see how that goes.
Which that comes out on May 27th, which
Yeah.
I might try to watch it.
All right, yeah. The one thing I got is this is something that only chronically unemployed people care about. But I'm going to use this as a teaching, or like as a lesson in not using these online scoring systems as like the end all be all of stuff. So, for anybody that doesn't know, there's an episode of Breaking Bad on IMDb called Ozymandias, or Ozymandias, however you say it. It's the only episode on IMDb that had maintained a perfect 10 out of 10 score for 13 years, ever since it released back in 2013. Well, recently, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spinoff show, their recent episode had released to a 10 out of 10. Well, Breaking Bad fans on IMDb didn't like that, so they went and review bombed it and brought it down. I think it's like at like a 9.6 now. So that made a lot of the fans of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms really mad, and they went and they review bombed Ozymandias and knocked it off of its 13-year streak of being at a 10 out of 10 on IMDb. So now it's down to a 9.7. So now, because of petty review bombing, there is no episode on IMDb with a 10 out of 10. And Ozymandias is not the number one rated episode anymore.
I think IMDb, after everything settles, needs to go through both of them and see the reviews that are just ones that do that.
Yeah.
And then just delete them all.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because they're very unhelpful.
Yeah.
But this is one of the reasons why you don't, like these online rating systems from IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, all that, they can be used as like a gauge to see if something, the audience likes something and if you can try it out maybe, but they should not be the end-all be-all of what you think and what you personally think is actually good and bad or on all that. Like, do not just look at something being a 10 out of 10 on there and then thinking that that it is a 10 out of 10 just because it's a 10 out of 10 on there, because crap like this happens on there. And you when you have review bombings, and even like what I call review love bombing, which is when you glaze a thing just cause hype and my feels and my vibes, you don't know what is actually quality. So yeah, I decided to use that as a teaching moment, but even though only chronically online people care about that, but yeah. So that was an interesting thing that was going on. And I'm going to give a hot take. I think Playing an Execution from Better Call Saul is the actual best episode of the entire Breaking Bad universe. That's the one where,
I know.
Yeah. I can't really say it because it spoils it. But anyway, without all that being said, we'll get to our main topic, which is going to be an analysis from a cursor's perspective on the anime Vinland Saga. It's like loose. Well, I don't even know if I say loosely. It's based off of real people.
Yeah.
And even like myths and all that. Back in the Viking era. But it in and of itself, the whole story in and of itself is what's called a historical fiction, meaning that it's based off of historical things, but the story itself is not what actually happened.
Mm.
So, yeah, and it follows a main character named Thorfinn, who is the son of a Viking, an Icelandic Viking named Thors.
Yeah.
Okay, just to begin, full spoiler warning for the entire series. Right now it's 2 seasons. The manga has more to it, and there's a 3rd season in production. We don't know when it's coming out, but...
Before we get into it, my thoughts, great anime. Continue.
Yes. The manga is finished, but however, I think they said there's going to be 4 seasons. They plan on it?
They didn't plan on that. That was just Google's AI dividing the what the seasons have gone through.
What's left. Okay, yeah. So yeah, there's more to it, but the anime is really good, so far. So we are going to be spoiling it. To give kind of like a content warning for us Christians, it does get violent, and it does get like disturbingly violent in some parts. Especially, I want to say in the 2nd season. The 2nd season has less violence, but when it does happen, it's pretty like rough.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the slave part, the guy that gets out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
And so you said this was about Vikings.
Yeah.
So of course.
Yeah. Well, and there's also Christianity is present in the story, because Christianity was present during this time, and so there is the story deals with it like in a way that is it shows it from different points of view. It shows it from the Christians' point of view, but it also shows it from like the Vikings and the people who don't believe it and how skeptical they are towards it, like point of view. So
yeah,
you have that as well.
And there's Thorkel's point of view, which is his left and his rights.
Yeah, yes, and which God would actually win in a fight, Thor or Jesus, which is like
so stupid.
It's like my dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah,
kind of thing. It's dumb. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna have to be focused on this one, because this story has so much to it that my analytical mind wants to go into every detail and talk about it, and we'll be here for hours because this story is dense.
Can you do that in your own notes?
No.
If like season 3 release, we can come back to it.
Yeah.
But for this one, we're going to broadly just
Yeah.
go.
We're going to talk about the broad strokes.
The broad strokes, yeah. We're not going point by point, don't worry.
No, I'm going to do that on the Dorathion channel because
Yeah.
I really like this series. Like, this series quickly became one of my favorites. Season 1, I think, is a masterpiece. It's not perfect. There are problems with, like, plot armor parts, like,
Oh, yeah.
with it. But I do think what it does great. It does very good.
For me, plot armor is necessary some of the time unless
Yeah.
it's happening a lot.
Yeah, unless it's or it's like John Wick falling out of a 10-story building, slamming into every balcony on his way down,
And
and then getting up and walking away. Season 2, I think, is very good. There are some spots in it that I do think are some like flaws, like Canute's turnaround at the end being just in a montage,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I do think that there's also some parts of dialogue in season 2 where characters state the obvious. Like, something will happen, and then the character will be like, oh, so then they explain exactly what happened. But
Father, how are things?
yeah. But other than that, I think the anime is great. So the story follows Thorfinn, and it follows his journey from becoming a cold-hearted killer, basically, to becoming I wouldn't necessarily call it a pacifist, but a non-violent warrior kind of person.
Yeah.
Wanting to create a paradise, basically. The first season follows his father Thor's, who is a huge influence on him, and Thor's had almost the exact same character kind of like development, where he was a cold-hearted warrior, killed a lot of people, but then he becomes this, not really non-violent, but this dude who is so strong he can punch people and knock them out and not kill them.
Yeah.
Basically, and that's what he does. He has this like only resort to violence when absolutely necessary kind of attitude, instead of being this hell bent on being a warrior and being the apex to get them into Valhalla, which is their version of heaven, basically the Norse version of heaven. And so season 1 follows his father dying by a man who was paid to kill him, named Askeladd, who I think is an S-tier character throughout season 1. And Thorfinn seeks revenge on Askeladd, but he wants revenge on him through a duel. So Thorfinn does not just walk up and kill Askeladd. He does at first, but then he decides to kill him in a duel.
Yeah.
Because his father was dueling Askeladd, and Askeladd killed him after getting defeated by Thor's. Killed Thor's anyway. So Thorfinn wants to beat him that way. And Askeladd uses this to turn Thorfinn into a killer and to use Thorfinn as a weapon, as him and his Viking crew go and raid and pillage villages throughout England, I think is what it is, yeah.
Yes, throughout the land of England.
Yeah.
And then they come across Frogman.
the monk, the Christian monk, who is a war general. So, yeah.
Yeah. Frogman.
I mean, it is very true to that time period, because there were a lot of hypocritical...
Who throws a tantrum because Askeladd stole his money.
He's after the treasure. Yeah, Askeladd stole his treasure, and he gets mad. So, one of the big broad things that the story talks about is the problem of evil and a longing for paradise. The story is called Vinland Saga. Vinland is actually America, North America. And because North America, for the longest time during this period in like the actual history, was seen as this place that wasn't conquered yet. And it was seen, and by a lot of people, it was seen as a place that they could build a paradise on. And the reason why so many people long for this is because of all the kingdoms of all the other lands around, Europe, Asia, Africa, all that. they were all fighting one another for land.
Yeah.
And they were trying to conquer one another. And this fighting and these wars, you know, the innocent people within these and the individual soldiers, the warriors, all that, they were all dying, getting killed. People were losing their homes, their families, all that. So there was this longing to go and build something better. And that ultimately led to what was called the Enlightenment, which is where a lot of places got rid of monarchies and, you know, the ideas of having kings and queens and just these authoritarian nations, basically. And here in America, we set up democracy, where there is no king or queen. There is no, like, centralized power. The power is spread through a checks and balances system here. And despite the fact that how corrupt we become, and we definitely have things that need to be taken out and reformed, not abolished, but reformed.
Reformed, yeah. We do not need to go to freaking socialism.
Yeah. Or authoritarianism. Like, both extreme sides of the political spectrum are both wrong.
Yeah.
But we need a reform in it. Our checks and balances has been the best system that has ever existed in the world. So, Thorfinn, throughout season 1, he goes around helping Askeladd and his men pillage and kill innocent villagers to get treasure. He helps Canute once they come across Prince Canute, who is the son of the King of England at that time, King Sweyn. He helps him get into power and become king, and he does that through killing people, mostly. He does all of this because he wants to kill Askeladd in a duel. Well, we get to the end of season 1, which I think, for me personally, is one of the best season finales, other than Arcane season 1 and I would say Breaking Bad season 4. Askeladd helps Prince Canute become king by killing King Sweyn, just suddenly, by luring King Sweyn close to him and then killing him. Canute, in order to not get the people of England against him, stages himself to kill Askeladd. So he stabs Askeladd, and Askeladd bleeds out after that. Well, this causes Thorfinn to not be able to kill Askeladd himself. So Askeladd bleeds out and dies, and Thorfinn is not able to kill him. Thorfinn is not able to get his revenge that he has based his entire life on since he was like 6, 7, 8 years old when his father Thor's died. Askeladd, as he's bleeding out and dying, he asked Thorfinn, basically, do not live your life this way. How are you going to live it? You live your life, be better, like, actually do something with yourself. Walk a different path than this. You do not want to walk down the path that I have. And he dies, and that's when we get into season 2, where Thorfinn starts off, he's empty and completely broken and nihilistic. The thing he based his life on, he was not able to achieve. And now he does not know what to do. He has nothing to live for, or at least he feels like he has nothing to live for. And he basically wants to die. And he is sold into slavery by King Canute at this time. And while he is at this slave farm the owner's name is Kettle, there is another person who is sold into slavery named Einar. Einar, who becomes a huge influence on Thorfinn in this story.
Yeah.
So Thorfinn is empty, broken, nihilistic. He wants to die, basically. And Einar actually calls him out on this and challenges him on it. And so Thorfinn throughout this whole time has been having nightmares about all the people he killed, because he actually has a conscience and all that. And he has one that this thing I think gives a fantastic example of hell, in my opinion. So one of the nightmares he has that makes him have a turnaround is he basically goes to this place. He gets dropped into this place where there are these soulless versions of the Vikings that he helped Askeladd with. They're all these soulless zombies just fighting one another. And then you have Askeladd kind of sitting on a pillar. And Thorfinn asks Askeladd, is this Valhalla? And Askeladd's like, Valhalla? No, this is the final destination of a warrior. This is what they wanted, and this is what they get. So what happened was, what this is depicting is that these warriors, they base their entire lives off of fighting and becoming the greatest warrior ever.
Yeah.
And now they're in a eternal destination of just constant, being these soulless husks, just constantly fighting one another for all of eternity. And the reason why I think that's a really good depiction of hell is that hell is basically God giving us what we wanted, which is not good for us, because
that's what we wanted, and then separating himself.
Yeah, and separating himself. And so it's an eternity of just doing meaninglessly and pointlessly doing what you want and never being able to fulfill yourself, never having a point to it, nothing. It's just eternity of meaninglessness. And that's the reason why I think that that episode is a really good depiction of hell. But in that, Askeladd basically challenges Thorfinn, like, is this what you want? Is this what you're going to base your life off of? And then in that, there's this like mountain of corpses that are coming after Thorfinn, and all those corpses or zombies, I guess you could say, are the people that Thorfinn killed. And this entire sequence causes Thorfinn to have to face the consequences of what he's done. And Askeladd eventually, after Thorfinn like kind of breaks, this dream version of Askeladd finally jumps down and he tells Thorfinn, like, get out of here, you don't belong here, live your life differently. So this entire dream sequence is Thorfinn thinking about what Askeladd told him while he was dying.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and comes to the conclusion that he is going to live his life completely different to what he was in season 1. He was going to basically be like his father and be nonviolent and look for other options other than being violent, and going and seeking a paradise, creating a paradise. And so this puts him on that path to do so. There's also a scene in season 2 where Thorfinn is listening in on a Bible passage being read from Matthew chapter 5, verses 43 through 48. So this Bible passage is being read by a slave hand toward not the current slave owner, but the previous slave owner. He's like the grandfather. What?
He's Kettle's dad.
Yeah, he's Kettle's, the slave owner's father. Yeah. And the Bible passage is, you have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet only your brothers, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? You therefore must be perfect, as your heavenly Father is perfect. That's the Bible passage that he hears being read to that. And this influences Thorfinn to take the love your enemies part of that. And he takes it to heart and he decides to implement that. What ends up happening is that King Canute in season 2, he's the king, but it then gets later revealed that he is the emperor. He has gotten that powerful because he has gone through and pillaged places. And Canute is a inverse mirror of Thorfinn.
Yeah.
Where he starts off in season 1 being this timid prince who is afraid to speak, to having a moment where he struggles with the fact that so much sin and suffering is going on.
And then comes to the wrong conclusion.
Yeah. Because he was a Christian at this time, but he comes to the wrong conclusion that since God seems to be silent on all these things and seems to not be like intervening on all the evil going on in the world, that he must not care, and that his salvation is wrong, and that we as humans have to make our own salvation and have to make our own paradise. So he decides that he's going to try and create his own paradise outside of God that is better than God's.
Yeah, that's not how that works. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I bring that up because that's his driving motivation.
I know.
So, in season 2, he's the king who becomes the emperor through going around and pillaging places and conquering places by force, all in the name of creating a paradise. And so, toward the end of season 2...
It's a paradise for me, but not for you.
Exactly, yes. So we get to the end of season 2, where you have Thorfinn... Canute tries to take over Kettle's farm that Thorfinn is a slave to. Because Kettle's farm is this massive farm.
He finds out
Yeah.
He finds out that Kettle's got a lot of money that he needs to fund his resources, and then the reason he ends up deciding to fight Kettle is because he sees the state of his son.
Yeah.
And he wrongfully thinks that's the rest of his farm.
Yes.
He wrongfully thinks that now, because Kettle's eldest son's a psychopath.
Yeah.
And then they did have, I don't know how to describe this dude. Snake. He's your stereotypical anime, quiet, but absolutely ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he decides to come and conquer the farm by force. But he is giving Kettle a kind of like decision on whether he can just give it to him.
Or he'll just kill him.
Or he'll just, kill them all. Well, Thorfinn decides to go over and speak to Canute. But, of course...
magically transforms into a Minecraft villager.
Yes.
No, they wouldn't let him near Canute, so he makes a pact that he's going to let the biggest dude punch him as hard as he can 100 times, and if he survives, he'll talk to Canute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the way he looked after that.
Yes, he looks like a Minecraft villager.
He does.
He's hit one eye swollen, his nose has
grown 5 sizes.
Yes. Yeah, because he takes 100 punches.
Yeah. Well, the last one, the dude had like lost all spirit and just went.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. Tag on, there's so much I can talk about, because what Thorfinn does here is a fantastic example of how a disciple of Christ should be, and how when a disciple of Christ, when a Christian, even though Thorfinn's not a Christian, but when a Christian decides to do what Jesus has called us to do and just stand tall and stuff like places like that, it leaves an impact on people, and it convicts people. So what you see is this crowd that is watching him get beat up. At first, they're like, "Yeah, beat him up. We're betting." They like bet that how long he's gonna last.
And then by the end of it, no one's talking.
By the end of it, they've all lost enjoyment, and they're all like, "Geez, what is this?" Yeah, and he ends up actually gaining the respect of them. And so they take him to Canute. And this is where Canute reveals that he has become the emperor. And he basically does this whole thing where he talks about how he can't control the waves because God does. And that we have to go against God and rebel. We have to rebel against him, and we have to create our own paradise.
That's straight up Satan talking.
Yeah, that's straight up satanic and Satan talking. Yeah. So, Canute and Thorfinn have become these inverses where they went on the exact opposite character arcs. Where Thorfinn started off as a cold-hearted killer to being a non-violent warrior. Canute started off as a timid boy to being a cold-hearted killer emperor who is rebelling against God. And so both of them have now come together to where now this dynamic, they're challenging each other almost on this. And that's what makes it very interesting when they finally come together at the end of season 2 here. And so Thorfinn tells him that, well, you can continue doing this, and since it seems like you're going to continue conquering places that you so badly want to create this paradise away from God, I'm going to run away, and I'm going to make a paradise in this place called Vinland, where I'm actually going to, there's going to be no wars, there's going to be no kings, nothing. It's going to be what people need. And this causes Canute to laugh at him. He breaks down and laughs at him. He's like, really, this is all you came here to do? Like, this is pathetic. You are a humongous fool for doing this. But then it shows that it actually softened Canute up, because now it convicted him, and it made him actually think about it. And then afterwards, you get Canute's turnaround, that he decides to let go of his military power and stop conquering places in England in a montage.
A 2-minute montage.
Yeah. Which I think it should have been. I don't know if it's going to be explored more in the story, because I'm going to read through the manga to see if it does. But hopefully it does, because if not, then that was I love the conversation between Thorfinn and Canute. But his turnaround was rushed. Very rushed, if that's the case. But the idea there is good. I like the idea of him having to turn around after talking to Thorfinn and being convicted by Thorfinn like that. It's a really good example of like just being a disciple of Christ and staying tall in the face of adversity like that. And in the face of just evil like that, because what Canute was spewing out was just straight up Satanism, basically. Speaking of the desire to have a paradise, the desire to live in a paradise is something that is inherent in all of us humans. And the reason why is because of the suffering and evil that happens in this world. And suffering and evil that happens in this world, it happens because we are born into a state of original sin that came about from the original sin of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eve when they rebelled against God. And due to this original sin state that we are born within, we are slaves to what's called our flesh. Our flesh is the part of us that does not want to go by God's standards. It wants to just do its own thing. And we've talked about this before in differing pieces of media, but think about on what we talk about on this podcast. Sometimes we're going to be reiterating the same thing because the same thing needs to be said over and over again, because these are universal truths. These are what we believe are universal truths of reality, basically, the human nature, essentially. So, due to the sinful nature that we are born in, we make a mess of the world, and we cause pain and suffering towards one another. We want to be the best at everything. We want to be the authority. We want to conquer places. We want wealth. We get greedy. We get selfish. And it's this cycle of being born into this. And we see this with Askeladd in season 1. He is born into this cycle, and he thinks that he has to be a part of it in order to even survive and get what he wants in it. So he resorts to violence, he resorts to pillaging, he resorts to being selfish in his own way. The thing is that he is aware of this, and that is why he tells Thorfinn at the end of season 2 to not go down this path. He doesn't want him to go down this path, because the end of the path is where he ended on, him getting killed at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So due to this entire nature, we inherently want a paradise. And as a Christian, I do believe that is single-handedly the biggest evidence for God existing, is this longing for paradise, this longing for something else. C.S. Lewis talks about it, I think, in Mere Christianity, where he says that since I long for a better place, there's no way, that means that this world is not my home.
Mm-hmm.
So that longing for a better place means that what this world is broken, and it's not right, and it's not enough. There's something else. And I do believe that is one of the biggest evidences for God existing. And the thing is that God in the Bible, especially the whole book of Revelation, the final book of the Bible, is God promising that paradise to us. The thing is that paradise is not promised in this life. What Christ did on the cross was that he died for our sinful state that we are born in. He lived the life that we are supposed to live by perfectly going by God's standard, and that he died in our place to pay that debt, because we are inherently sinners. So we have a debt between us and God. He paid that debt, and that is what we are saved from. That is what our salvation is for those of us that accept him as Lord and Savior. And from that, we are then promised a paradise in heaven, But we are also at the same time promised that suffering is going to happen in this life. We are not promised that heaven is going to happen in this life. And so that's one of the things that I see when I watch like Vinland Saga. Canute wanted a paradise there and now. And the thing about it is that he's shown being a Christian at first. But the thing is, this is back in like the medieval ages where like Catholicism was huge. It was like one of the main things. And there was a lot of muddying of the actual gospel. And so sometimes Christ wasn't even seen, or even Christ wasn't even taught to a lot of like the regular people who weren't the priest and the bishops as Savior. He was more taught as this like vindictive God that wanted them to be perfect, basically, or be righteous. And so a lot of it was like works based.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder if Canute was ever even taught that Christ was the Savior, and that Christ died for his sins, and that paradise comes in heaven after death, or when Christ returns, not now. Because Canute comes to a very wrong conclusion, that he has to create paradise now.
Yeah.
And so he tries to strong-arm that. And the irony is that from Canute's sinful state, he strong-arms that by creating even more suffering and persecution. And Thorfinn calls him out on that at the end of season 2. And then Thorfinn is looking forward to create a paradise in Vinland, which is America. And wow, he can definitely go there. And I'm going to see how it goes in the rest of the story, because we're just talking about seasons 1 and 2 of Vinland Saga, the anime. He can go there and he can create a place that doesn't have a king and doesn't have any kind of authoritarianism over there. He's not going to be able to create a full-on paradise in this life.
No.
It'll still have problems. There will still be sin and suffering happening. People will still fight one another, do all kinds of things to one another, and other nations, like Canute himself, if he wanted to, could come over and raid.
Yeah.
And all that. That's because, again, God does not promise that, God at his word does not promise that sin and suffering is going to cease in this life as we are living in it now. He does promise it will eventually cease when Christ returns, and a new heavens and new earth are created, or when we die and we go to heaven, but not while we are living here. So our purpose here is to not try and build a perfect paradise. Our purpose here, as Christians especially, is to preach the gospel and to help serve our neighbor the best we can. That is our purpose. And we long for heaven, and we long for Christ returning in the new heavens and new earth. Mm-hmm. And we have that hope to hold on to. Because when we try to build a perfect world, the problem with that is in our sinful state, we are going by our subjective definition of what a perfect world is, which will ironically cause suffering for some people.
Yeah.
For somebody somewhere. So that's the problem with that. When instead we have to deny ourselves in that way. That's part of what Christ means when he says, pick up your cross and deny yourself and follow me. We have to deny ourselves in that way and go by how God wants it to go, and that's as revealed in his word. And that's why I said our main purpose is to preach the gospel of Christ and serving our fellow neighbor. And by serving our fellow neighbor, we mean, as the Bible tells us, helping them bear their suffering.
Yeah,
is what that means. So that's how I process as a Christian, the broad strokes of the themes of these 2 seasons of Vinland Saga, of the problem with evil and suffering and the longing for paradise. That's how I process it. So yeah, we outwardly look towards God and what he objectively promises in his word. And then we help spread that good news. That's what gospel means. And then we help serve our fellow neighbor. That's what we look towards. And that we know that pain and suffering is going to happen in this life, but we should not let that cause us to despair. We should not let that cause us to fall into ego and want to build a new paradise, and we should not let it destroy us. So, yeah, that's what we look towards. And so, yeah, there's a lot of other things that we could talk about in Vinland Saga, because, like I said, it's a dense story. It's got a lot of stuff to it. And, yeah, I really like it. We'll probably return to it sometime in the future to talk about something else, some other stuff in it. So, yeah. And I highly recommend it. So, if you can handle, like, the violent themes in it and stuff like that. So, but anyway, what do y'all think? Let us know y'all's thoughts in the comments down below. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you really like what we do and want to support us out more, hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out greatly. Thank y'all for listening or watching. We love y'all. God bless y'all, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.